Last night at the end of the State of the Union address, you tweeted, "Mr. President, you don't believe in the Constitution. You believe in socialism."
Absolutely. Everything he does is bigger government, more central control in Washington, D.C. That's not what our founding fathers envisioned the government to be. I believe in the original intent of the Constitution, which means that the federal government should just be doing basically the 18 things in Article 1, Section 8, very little else. My job should be a part-time job. Mr. Obama believes in a big central government where the federal government controls everything in our lives. That's socialism, and so I stick by that tweet.
What specifically in his speech, though, screamed socialism to you?
Well, everything he does. He wants to have the federal government take over the healthcare system. He doesn't want us to repeal it, obviously. It's his flagship type of policy that he's pushed through against the will of the American people. And it's geared towards becoming a socialized medicine program. In fact, he said just before Obamacare was passed into law, he wanted everybody in one pool. What's that mean? It means that he wants everybody to be on a government insurance program where the federal bureaucrats direct the health care for everybody, where decisions are taken out of the hands of doctors like myself and patients and put in the hands of bureaucrats here in Washington, D.C. The socialized medicine, everything I've seen from this president, he has a philosophy of a socialistic agenda, and that's what he's promoted ever since he's been in office.
It's a very strong statement, though, to say that the President of the United States doesn't believe in the Constitution.
Well, he doesn't. When I was sworn in the Marine Corps in 1964, when I was sworn into Congress, I swore to uphold the Constitution against enemies both foreign and domestic. We have a lot of domestic enemies of the Constitution, those who want to pervert it, those who want to change it. There's some that are in black robes and sitting on federal benches all across this country. There are Democrats and Republicans, liberals, and even conservatives that pervert the Constitution according to the original intent of our founding fathers.
Are you calling the president, though, a domestic enemy?
Well, his philosophy of big government is against the Constitution. It's against what our founding fathers believed in. It's against everything that's made this country great. We've got to change that philosophy of government. And we've got to put people up here, from the president to senators and congressmen, who believe in the original intent of the Constitution. And that's what's going to turn this country around, that's what's going to make this country great again. I believe in American exceptionalism. The American people do too. And what made this country great was limited government and the free enterprise system.
In the end, you saw, the Republicans and Democrats, many of them sitting together last night. You had said that you thought that was in some ways trying to silence Republicans. Do you think it ultimately did that?
Well, I think it did. I think it silenced Democrats too. I think if you saw the speech as I did from my office, as I did last year and did again this year and tweeted during the course, you didn't have the rambunctious response that the Democrats did last year. So I think it silenced both sides. I think it was a very good political move on the Democrats' part to try to silence Republicans. Also to show that how few Democrats are really here in the House of Representatives. And also I think it's a means of trying to keep the American people from delineating between the two parties through the speech and what one party accepts and applauds and what the other party doesn't accept and doesn't applaud, and vice versa. So yeah, I think it did silence both sides, really.
The whole reason it was done, though, was after the Tucson shooting where Congressman Giffords was shot. Some members thought it would be a good idea to show a sign of unity. Do you think that sign and maybe a new level of civility and discourse actually could be a good thing?
I think we need to be civil. We can talk about issues. I think the personal attacks that a lot of people do are probably not good and good for the country. But the thing is, there's a wide difference between the philosophy of the Democratic leadership up here in Washington, because they believe in top-down type of government. They believe the federal government should do everything for everybody and take care of every human endeavor and direct everything from Washington, D.C. That's socialism. Whereas Republicans, by and large, and the American people overwhelmingly believe in freedom. They believe in liberty. They believe in personal responsibility. They believe in the free enterprise system. That gulf between those two is a very wide gulf that's hard to bridge.
At the end of the day, though, 2 years into President Obama's presidency, do you think that things are better than they were 2 years ago when the economy was on the brink of collapse?
He hasn't done a thing to help this economy. The resiliency of the American economy is the only reason that we don't have a worse economy than we have today. In fact, his policies have been an abject failure.